When you hear the word control, what pops into your head? For a lot of us, it sounds kind of restrictive, right? Maybe a little negative. But in the world of business, control is something totally different. It's the secret sauce, really. It's what makes sure a brilliant plan actually gets you where you want to go. So let's dive in and unpack what it really means to be in control.
I mean, seriously, think about it. We've all seen this happen. A company rolls out some big, bold new strategy, everybody's hyped up, and then a year goes by and, well, nothing's really changed. It's not that the plan was bad. So what gives? Well, the answer is usually hiding in a part of management that, honestly, most people overlook. You see, management is really a journey with 4 key stages. You've got planning, organizing, and leading. And all of that is great, it's full of potential, but the final piece of the puzzle, controlling, that's what turns all that potential into actual performance. It's the rudder on the ship that keeps you on course. Without it, you're not really steering, you're just drifting and hoping for the best. So why is this function so darn important? Let's get into exactly what a good control system brings to the table for any organization. A really solid control system does so much more than just, catch mistakes. It's what helps you adapt when things get chaotic and even spot new opportunities you might have missed. Of course, it helps boost productivity and cut costs, but here's the part that might surprise you. Good control doesn't mean less freedom for your team. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's what allows for more autonomy. Because when you have a reliable way to see how things are going, you can trust your team to make their own calls. All right, so if control is how we steer, what's the engine that actually makes it all go? Well, it turns out to be this beautifully simple, super powerful 4-step process that's at the heart of any effective control system. Okay, here's how it works. Step 1, you set your standards. This is your target, right? What does success actually look like? Step 2, you measure your real performance. What did you actually achieve? Step 3, and this is the key part, you compare the two. Is there a gap between where you want it to be and where you are? And finally, step 4, you take corrective action. If you're off course, you adjust. If you're on track, you double down. Simple as that. Now, the real magic here is that this is not a one-and-done checklist. It's a continuous feedback loop. The results from one cycle feed right into the next one. This constant stream of information lets you tweak your actions, maybe even rethink your original goals. It creates this dynamic cycle of always getting better. So we've got our engine. Now let's take a look at the dashboard, the specific tools and gadgets a manager uses to see what's going on and actually make those adjustments. Managers basically have 3 key moments to step in. First, there's feed-forward control. This happens before you even start. Think of it like checking your ingredients before you bake a cake. You're trying to catch problems early. Then there's concurrent control, which happens during the process. This is like tasting the batter as you mix it. It's real-time problem solving. And finally, you have feedback control, which is after the work is done, asking how did the cake taste? This tells you what to do better next time. Now, one of the most powerful tools out there today is something called the balanced scorecard. See, for the longest time, businesses were judged pretty much only on their financial numbers. But that's kind of like judging a person's health by only looking at their bank account. The balanced scorecard gives you a much more complete picture of what's going on. The genius of the balanced scorecard is that it forces managers to look at the business from 4 interconnected angles. The big idea was to move beyond just the financials and include customers, internal processes, and your ability to innovate, because it recognizes that all 4 are tied together and absolutely essential for success in the long run. So let's break it down, starting with the one everybody knows, the financial perspective. This is the classic question. Are we making our shareholders happy? Are we profitable? But right away, it balances that with the customer perspective, which asks, how do our customers see us? Are they satisfied? Because let's be real, amazing financials today mean absolutely nothing if all your customers are planning to leave you tomorrow. From there, it looks inward to the internal business perspective. This is all about what you need to be great at. Are your processes efficient? Is your quality top-notch? Are you keeping everyone safe? And finally, it looks to the future with the innovation and learning perspective. This asks, are we building the kind of team and culture that can keep winning down the road, not just today? Put them all together, and you get a truly balanced picture of the company's health. Now, all these tools and processes we've talked about, they're incredibly useful, but they work best when they're serving a higher purpose, a guiding philosophy. And for many of the world's best companies, that North Star is an absolute obsession with quality. This philosophy is called Total Quality Management, or TQM.
And the most important thing to get about TQM is that it isn't some program or a department. It is a culture. It's a deep commitment from the CEO all the way to the front lines to constantly improve every single thing you do, all with the goal of making the customer happy. So how do you actually do that? Well, one of the core methods is the PDCA cycle. It's so simple. You plan a change. You do it, maybe on a small scale first. You check the results to see what happened, and then you act on what you learned, either make the change permanent or start the cycle all over again. It is the engine that drives continuous improvement. At the end of the day, TQM really boils down to two big things. First, a people orientation, where every single person in the company knows how their job creates value for the customer. And second, an improvement orientation, where everyone feels empowered and is expected to constantly hunt for better ways of doing things. It's a really powerful combo. Of course, the business world never stands still, so let's jump to today and see how technology, especially artificial intelligence, is completely rewriting the rules on control. AI is basically like a supercharger for control systems. It can watch a production line with superhuman accuracy to slash defects. It can analyze workflows to boost productivity in ways we never could. And it can optimize these insane global supply chains in real time. It's making control faster, smarter, and way more powerful than we ever thought possible. But all this new power leads us to a very modern problem: employee monitoring. On the one hand, the benefits seem pretty clear. You can get more productivity, better security, and tons of hard data for performance reviews. But on the other hand, the downsides are just as big. You've got huge privacy concerns, it can be really demoralizing for employees, and there's a serious risk of that data being misused, which can just destroy the trust you need for a healthy workplace. And that leaves us with a huge question to think about. We started this journey looking at control as a way to just keep a plan on track. But today, with AI and constant data, that system is becoming almost unbelievably precise. So as our ability to control and perfect every little piece of a business gets better and better, we have to stop and ask ourselves, what's the price of all that perfection?